Hello students, this is Nahid Kabir. I am your course teacher for History 202 Comparative Revolutions. Welcome to my course. I hope you will enjoy this course throughout the semester. It is an interesting course and very relevant to the contemporary period we live in. Today I'm going to give you an overview of my course, Comparative Revolutions. The course description includes roles of major revolutions shaping the history of the modern world, including English, American, French, Bolshevik, and Chinese revolutions. It examines the causes of each revolution, analyzes the context, the ideologies that inspired the revolutions, including a critical outlook on the course's immediate and long-term implications, and the contemporary relevance of these revolutions from a comparative perspective. So, for example, in our course, the comparative revolutions, as the course description shows, that we will include the discussion of different revolutions from the ancient, medieval to the modern period. Say for the ancient period, we will have discussion on the Roman Revolution. In the medieval period, we will have the discussion on the Abbasid Revolution. And in the modern period, we will take up discussions on the Bolshevik revolutions in Russia or the Chinese revolutions. That's all. Chinese revolution was in China, in Asia. The American Revolution and the French Revolution, again, we will take into consideration in our study. So the French Revolution was in Europe, the American Revolution, of course, in America, the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, and the Chinese Revolution in China. The English Revolution and the Glorious Revolution was in the UK, the United Kingdom. And in the modern time, towards the end of our semester, we will be discussing the Arab Revolution, the Iranian Revolution. So while we discuss revolutions, we will be touching on the people, discussing the people of different countries. The time was different. As I said, ancient, medieval, modern period. The society was different. But then again, the revolution was the outcome of mass protest. And it brought a change in the countries where the revolution took place. So this course needs critical thinking, a lot of reading that I have made it mandatory for the students, and continuously comparing like why one revolution was different or in what way the revolution was similar to one another. So, for example, the American Revolution took place in 17 75, 76. The American Revolutionary War was from 1775 to 1783. But later in the century, in 1789, the French Revolution took place. So the American Revolution was in America and the French Revolution was in Europe. America revolutionaries, the patriots, and the French revolutionaries, they may have had something in common. There may be ideologies that inspired both the revolutions. There may be some political connection. Perhaps France was sympathetic to America in its revolution. So all these causes and the context we will analyze while we discuss this revolution in our course. So in this slide, in the American Revolution slide, the American Revolutionary War that took place from 1775 to 1783. In this picture, we can see the revolutionaries, the patriots who fought for the independence of America. So this war was between the patriots and the loyalists. Both had this European background, both were predominantly British. So the patriots fought for the independence while the loyalists were loyal to the crown, to the British crown. And in the picture you can see the Indians, the native Indians, or the American Indians as they are called. They also took part in the war, and also the African Americans, the slaves, they took part in the war. So here we can see it's a discussion, mobilization of the leaders in this slide. And in the next slide, we can see it's again the picture of the American Revolution, where the fighting is really going on in the battlefield. The Revolutionary War is going on, and it was, again, as I said, between the patriots and the loyalists. In this slide, the Declaration of Independence. So the revolutionary got what they desired for, what they aimed for. That was the independence of America from the British control. Independence from the control of the British government. And so here we can see the Declaration of Independence signed by the revolutionary leaders. So that was a big achievement in the 18th century, that the revolution was successful in America. In this slide, the 4th of July celebration in Washington, D.C., USA, 2017, we can see Americans were celebrating the 4th of July, American independence, that took place officially in 1776. So at that time I was in the United States and I was in Washington, D.C. I was an adjunct professor in Washington, D.C., in Georgetown University, so I was there for some time. And so I went and joined the celebration. So you can see in the picture, 4th of July 2017 written on the board, and people all gathered near the National Archives of Washington, D.C., and celebrating the 4th of July, Independence Day. So, as I said, that this course needs a lot of critical thinking. It needs an understanding why people revolted against a government or against a regime or against a oppressive government. So there have the main reason for many revolutions was the economic reason, the unfair debt, the unfair tax imposed on the people. And so people mobilized and they stood up for a revolution against their oppressive regime or the oppressive government. The course objective is designed to provide students a general background of major revolutions from the ancient to the contemporary world. It begins by distinguishing revolution from revolt and rebellion. It will assist students to examine the causes, process, and outcome of revolutions. The different types of revolutions have been thematically categorized with critical reasoning of why revolutions took place and how it shaped the modern world. Therefore, the course will assist students develop their reading skills and think critically on the subject matter. Students will learn to speak on an issue and write thematically with an objective and analytical mind. They will thus become more aware of the world revolutionary history and social change and will be able to interact positively with their counterparts. By the end of the semester, the course will benefit the students. So the course outline will help the students, or the course outcome will help the students to distinguish the differences between riots, revolt, rebellion, and revolution in historical and contemporary context. The students will be able to examine the causes, process, and outcome of revolutions. They will be able to demonstrate the roles of ideologies on revolutions. It will help them to evaluate the pattern of social and political changes through critical thinking. It will help the students to analyze texts and make comparison about the causes and impact of revolutions. The students would be able to explain how revolutions have shaped the world we live in today. The course will help the student in developing their skills, in gaining knowledge on history, revolutions, international relations, conflict resolutions, and policy analysis. Finally, the student's performance will be assessed through the following criteria, and that is, the students are expected to do their readings that has been assigned as mandatory. The students should be able to have the factual knowledge and understand the topic that has been assigned or discussed in the class. They will have the skills in argumentation and critical analysis. And of course, they need to have competence in language and clarity of expressions. Thank you.